I have a visitor.
Where did you meet this person?
I met her on the internet.
Yeah, well, everybody's doing that now.
You know, Bianca's, a missionary.
My little brother, he's crazy, right? I mean, he's crazy.
If I may, he appears to have a delusion.
What the hell is he doing with a delusion?
She loves kids.
Fantastic. When will it be over?
When he doesn't need it anymore.
We gotta fix him. Can you fix him?
Bianca's in town for a reason. This isn't necessarily a bad thing.
How can we help?
Go along with it.
This is my review for Lars and the Real Girl, released in 2007. Lars and the Real Girl tells the story of Lars, who rarely leaves his house, doesn't socialise, and just doesn't get out much. So his brother Gus and his brother's wife are worried about him and attempt to reach out to him to get him to open up about his problems. He doesn't respond until suddenly he turns up at their door with a sex doll he has named Bianca. It becomes apparent that Lars thinks Bianca is real, making up backstories for her, and he even responds as if she's talking. Sounds like an interesting plot, right? Right. I love quirky films, and I thought I'd love this. But however, after the credits hit, I couldn't help but go, what? Let's start with the good. Ryan Gosling, who I had previously seen in Half Nelson, a review of which can be found on my page, is again great here, and even though I disliked some elements of the film, I was consistently with his character and Ryan's performance. Gosling isn't the only good performance here. You've got Paul Schneider, who plays Gus, Lars' brother, is the voice of reason for the majority of the film and gives a great performance. Then Emily Mortimer, who plays Gus's pregnant wife Karen, also in a solid performance. I love the first half of the film, which focused more on Gus and Karen trying to help Lars, and their initial reaction to Bianca. All great, however, for me, when the film tries to take on a larger picture, is when I kind of went, what? Basically, Gus and Karen convinced the entire town to go along with it and act like Bianca is a real person. This involves taking her to their workplace, giving her makeovers, and many other things. I thought action movies were the only movies where you had to suspend your disbelief. Man, it seems not. I found it very hard to believe and very hard to buy into the fact that all these townspeople would go along with it, which I felt not only was a weak plot point, but it kind of took focus off Lars. I liked his sessions with the psychiatrist. They had a few good scenes. However, when they go as far as getting an ambulance to take Bianca, a doll, to the hospital, I find that hard to believe. Hooking her up to that equipment, taking up a bed in the hospital, no, sorry, I can't buy that. I might be being too cynical, but it's just the fact that they go to such lengths beyond reality to pretend that Bianca is real bothers me. I don't like it from the point that I don't think that people will be so willing, but at the same time, I don't like it as a plot device for the film. For me, it turned the film into a bit of a slushy, mushy film, something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to be a bit darker, and at times was turned into an overly sentimental film. I understand that maybe if it had not changed in plot, if it had stuck with, say, just Karen and Russ going along with it, it may have become a bit boring and they had to go in another direction. And it gave room for Lars to figure out his issues. But as I say, it turned the film into something I wasn't expecting, and it threw me off. All in all, I'm not giving up on this film. I will re-watch and maybe even re-review. However, there's really only, there's three reasons I'm going to re-watch it. And that's the three performances I mentioned earlier. To me, they anchor the film and keep it interesting. There were a few good jokes and, the stuff when he threw the flower away, and then some of the jokes about Bianca and that kind of thing. Some of it was quite good, from a joke point of view. I guess it works for what they did, for what they were trying to do. But I can't help but think it could be a more interesting film if it hadn't gone so slushy in the end. And of course, then you've got the big issue I mentioned before about the townspeople going along with it. But I am going to rewatch in the hope that maybe I can